Hey y'all, Nico here. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, thanks for joining me. I'm Nico. Today's video is yoga for people who sit down all day. I don't have a better name for this video, so it just is what it is. Yoga for people who sit down all day. So that can include people who work at a desk all day, people who work on a computer all day, people who drive all day, people who might be truck drivers, delivery drivers, anybody who sits down for really long periods of time. So what can be common for people who sit down for a long time throughout the day is your hips may be tight, you may have back pain, and your shoulders may be tight. I know I'm guilty of when I'm on the computer sitting like this. I'll have my computer on the table and I'm like this, or I have my computer in my lap and I'm like this. So your hips can get really tight just from not moving at all throughout the day, and your shoulders as well. All those muscles kind of connect and relate to each other. So our goal is to try to open up these hips a little bit, try to open up these shoulders a little bit, and hopefully work on our posture. And just be mindful that when you are in your job or in your line of work or whatever you do where you're sitting down all day, try to be mindful about your posture. I'm really bad about that, but that will help you out in the future when it comes to that tightness in your body and that pain in your back. Just trying to make a conscious effort to sit up straight may help you out some. So we're going to just get started in a seated position, taking a breath or two. Now, if your hips are tight, it may already be uncomfortable for you to sit just like this. So if you have a more comfortable way you want to sit with your legs extended out, you can. But a good trick is to grab a pillow or a rolled up blanket or a rolled up towel and bring it underneath the hips to give you some elevation. So if you need to pause the video to grab that, feel free to do that. And that's just going to help you out. When your hips are a little bit lifted, it kind of just makes some room for them to open up a little bit more. So let's just take a breath or two. Inhale and exhale. And we're just trying to relax right now. Inhale and exhale. One more inhale and exhale. Good. Now let's sweep our arms up with an inhale. Interlace the fingers above you, press those palms away, really reaching. Exhale, twist to the right side. Left hand on the outside of right knee, right fingertips face the back wall, and let your gaze come over this back shoulder if you can. Sitting nice and tall if you can, as tall as you can. Inhale, come through the center. Exhale, twist to the left. Right hand on the outside of left knee, left fingertips face the back wall. Bring your gaze over the left shoulder. Getting a stretch in the back. You might already hear the back pop. This is a great stretch for that. Inhale, exhale, twist back to the center. We're going to come up on hands and knees and get ready to come to child's pose. So bring the big toes together, bring the knees out wide as far as you can, and start to float the hips back towards the heels. Again, if you have tight hips, you might want to grab that blanket or that block you just had and bring it underneath the hips, or you can keep the hips lifted. But if you're able to, go ahead and float the hips back towards the heels, come into child's pose, also known as balasana. And this is a great hip opener. This is a great back stretch. This is one of my go-tos for my back. Inhale, Exhale, shift your weight back forward, coming to a table position, and we'll get ready to come to down dog. So tuck the toes under and start to lift the hips up and back for down dog. If down dog is difficult for you, what you can do is rest your hands on a wall and come to your down dog this way. So we're pressing our heels towards the ground, pressing our chest towards our thighs, and then you can pedal the feet out here a little bit. Getting a nice stretch in those hamstrings, through those shoulders. Elongating the spine here, which is really important because you might have been slouching or your spine might have been all crunched up. So we kind of want to elongate it again, stretch it back out. Bring your gaze up in between your hands. Walk your feet up one step at a time. You can even do like heel to toe, and you'll feel a really big stretch in the back of the legs. Bring your hands up to a half lift. Place your hands on the shins. Exhale, lower down to a forward fold. Good. Bring a deep bend into your knees. Roll up to a standing position. Bring those arms with you. Inhale. Hands meet at the top. Exhale. Release those hands behind you and interlace the fingers. And then from here, we're going to roll our shoulders back and down. Now, if you need a little bit of moment here, we did spend a pretty good amount of time in that inversion. So need a little bit of moment here to let that blood come away from the brain. Sometimes you could get a little lightheaded. So just be gentle when you're coming up to standing positions or when you're down in inversions. I will take an inhale here, roll those shoulders down and back. Exhale, deep bend into the knees. Let the chest fall down over those knees and let the arms come behind you. So now we're incorporating that shoulder stretch here. Good. If this is too intense, feel free to back off of the pose, or feel free to stay standing and just lift those hips up, not the hips, lift the hands up and back behind you. Good. Release the hands. Roll back up to a standing position, one vertebrae at a time. Good. Now we're going to step out wide onto our mat. Walk your heels in and your toes out. Bring the hands to heart center and sit the bottom straight down. Just as much as you can. If you could bring your thighs parallel with the ground, great. If not, just sit down as low as you can. Our hands are going to come to the knees. Fingers are wrapping around the outside of the knees. Thumbs are on the inside. We're just going to roll our right shoulder in towards the midline of our body here. And gaze can come up towards the ceiling if possible. Getting a nice stretch through the spine here, and also opening up the hips at the same time. Good. Come back to center. Now roll the left shoulder in. Again, if you can bring your gaze up towards the ceiling, you'll really feel that stretch in your spine. Good. Come back to center. Straighten those legs out, sweep those arms up, inhale. Let's just take a moment here. Bring the hands to heart center. Oop. Again, sometimes you come up fast, things can get a little woozy. So sweep those arms back up, inhale. Exhale, we're going to let the right toes face the back of our mat. Front heel is going to be aligned with the inside arch of that left foot. So we'll bend into the right knee, and then we're going to bring our arms out wide, coming to warrior two. So let that knee be over the ankle. Let the shoulders be relaxed, but the arms are extended straight out. And then check the alignment of your arms here. Now let's take an inhale. We'll straighten this front knee. Bring both toes back towards the side of the mat. And exhale, left toes will face the front, and we'll warrior two to this side. Again, check the alignment of those arms. Now, a lot of people who I've seen who are tight in those areas will be reaching forward, and they just won't look like their body is in alignment. So I want to challenge you to bring your torso upright. Reach through those arms, standing nice and tall. Open up through those hips. Good. Take an inhale. Exhale, windmill those hands down, and then step the right foot up to meet the left, coming back down to a forward fold. You can bring a deep bend into your knees if you like. You can grab the elbows and rock side to side here like a rag doll. Now bring your hands down to your mat, and we'll step back, dropping those knees down, moving back to a child's pose again. But this time, bring your knees close together, and then we're going to sit our hips back towards our heels and wrap our arms around our legs. So again, if you need some elevation, grab that pillow, bring it underneath the hips. You can also kind of keep the hips lifted here. Otherwise, this is my absolute favorite stretch, is this version of Balasana. And just try to relax down over those knees. You'll feel the back body open. Take an inhale. Exhale, we're going to shift our weight forward and come down to our belly. Now from here, we're going to move into this laying scorpion pose. So bring your arms out wide on either side of your body. Let the left side of your face rest on the ground or on your pillow. And then slide that right knee up until it's perpendicular with your hip. Now you can stay just like this. This is perfectly fine. If you want a little more, you'll bring that, let me move my microphone pack. You'll bring that right foot over to the left. But this is completely optional. You can choose option A or option B. Another good hip stretch and spinal stretch. Good. Now if your knee isn't already on the ground, go ahead and bring it back on the ground, perpendicular with your body, or perpendicular with your, what is your torso? I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say. Take your left hand, we're gonna thread it underneath the right, and bring that left hand to the outside of that right knee. And then from here, we're going to extend that right arm out to the side. So you can cactus the arm, you can extend the arm. If this is a lot, grab that pillow, bring it underneath the knee for elevation to help you twist here. Good. Just getting a stretch here. That good spinal twist. Now from here, we're gonna keep twisting around onto our back. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna come all the way to our back. Our left knee is gonna bend. Our right ankle is gonna rest on that left knee. So we'll end up in this position. Arms can just rest at your sides. This may be perfectly fine for you, or you can grab behind that left knee and pull it in towards your chest. Come into a figure four stretch. Getting a stretch along the IT band, along the outside of the hip. Inhale. Exhale, release the left leg back down to the ground, and then roll over gently back onto your belly. And we're back in our original position. Put my microphone back on. So extend those arms out wide. This time, the right side of your face rests down onto your mat. Left knee slides up. perpendicular with your mat, or left toe comes over to the right. Take a couple more breaths. Now bring that left knee down if it's not already there. Thread that right arm underneath, bringing it on the outside of the left knee, and then our left arm is going to extend to the side. And again, bring that pillow underneath your knee to help you twist if it's really tight here. Trying to bring both those shoulders onto the ground if you can. And if you're not quite there, don't worry. With some time and some consistency and some care, you'll get there. Just takes time to loosen up the muscles after they've been tight for so long, if we don't regularly stretch them. So we have to work with them best way we can. So let's start to twist all the way onto our back, bending that right knee, letting the left ankle rest on top of the right knee, and then staying here or pulling it in towards your chest. Take an inhale. Exhale, release the foot back down to the ground. Uncross the left ankle. And just bring both knees into your chest. And let's rock side to side. Just massaging that lower back. If you want to rock up and back, you can, if that feels okay. And then from here, you can either lie down into a shavasana or roll all the way up to a seated position. So this completes our yoga for people who sit down all day video. Leave a comment down below letting me know what you think, letting me know if it helped you out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for watching. Peace and love.